Hello traders, welcome back to this video. It is your best channel to get your analysis and to get your daily bias so that you can confirm or you can use it to do your analysis. So today I have some few pairs. Let's start with Euro USD. So I'm going to go straight forward to the daily time frame so that we can have our general bias. So on the daily time frame, we understand that on the daily time frame, Euro USD is bullish. You can see there is a break of structure to the upside. This is a break of structure at this point here. We have a break of structure to the upside. And then we also have another break of structure up here. A break of structure to the upside also. So, and then after this break of structure here, we had this pullback. That is why the reason why we have marked this break of structure at this point, we have this pullback here that came to sweep liquidity here. This is a major inducement at this point. The market swept that low as a liquidity, as an inducement, and then the price went up to break structure. And then currently, right now, you can see this pullback, the corrective pullback to these lows. We have a reaction from this fair value gap. Once this fair value gap was filled, that is why we have the movement that we have around this area. We have this reaction. So, and right now, I want us to be looking for buys to the upside. After the market has swept these internal structures as liquidity. Remember, I told you when we have a break of structure being formed, the internal structures are used as liquidity. So these are the internal structures, and the market has come back down to take them as liquidity. And once that has happened, we have now the market having that momentum to distribute the liquidity to the external liquidity. So right now, the market is trying to form something like a double bottom before we have a reaction to the upside. So we have this area here that we cannot ignore, the support and resistance level. We can use that as our confluence. We have this support and resistance level at this point here. So this is the point where the market is trying to find it hard to break. But once we see a break of a break of this support and resistance level at this point here, we are going to wait for a retest into this area, and then we'll take more buys to the upside. So currently, right now, I'm waiting for this area to be taken out. So let me try to drop down into the lower time frame. Once I have the bias that price is reacting from this fair value gap, I want to see more buying pressure to the upside, and I want to see this support and resistance level being broken. So coming into the 4-hour time frame, so into the 4-hour time frame, this is our support and resistance level, and you can see how the market was reacting from it. You can see when the market came down, reacted from that level, and then reacted once again, and then finally it broke that level, and then we had this retest, and then later on the market came here to sweep some liquidities because it broke that support and resistance, and then again it came back down, and then the price went up to retest that area, and now we have these reactions. You can see the reactions from that support and resistance level. So, and yesterday we had that support and resistance level reacting from this point, and currently right now you can see how the buyers are trying to break that level. So currently right now, this is the area I want to see price taking out, breaking this level, and then once we have a very good retest, we'll be looking for more buys to the upside. But currently right now, if you come into the 4-hour time frame, what I can see clearly here is that price came back down, swept these internal structures, and now the price is going up to break this high. So once I see a candle close above this high, I will have my break of structure to the upside. And that gives me a confidence that I'm going to look for more buys to the upside. And if you see clearly here, uh, Euro USD is leaving behind some fair value gaps like this one here. We had price coming back to fill that fair value gap, but it did not fill the fair value gap completely. So there is some fair value gap left behind there. And then we have another one here. We have another one here. We have that fair value gap. Price came back to try and fill that fair value gap, but there was no complete filling of this fair value gap. But We'll basically try as much as possible to see what is going on at this point. So if, for example, it drop down into the 1 hour time frame, I want to see break of structures to the upside. I want to see these internal structures to the upside. So here, this is it. We have this break of structure to the upside at this point because we have some sweep of liquidity. That is our break of structure. Price came back down to sweep this low as liquidity, and this one here, it reacted from that fair value gap. Once it touched the fair value gap, we had now the break of structure to the upside. Then price came back down again into the premier into the discount level, and then price went up again to break another structure. It reacted from that strong low. Remember, this was the strong low because it swept some liquidity before going up to break structure. So that is another break of structure, and right now price came back down. No liquidity that was swept here. So let me delete this fair value gap. So no liquidity that was swept this move here. So the price came and reacted from this order block, the 1 hour order block at this point. That is why we have this momentum to the upside. And currently, right now, the price is trying to leave some fair value gaps behind. We have this fair value gap at this point. And at this point here, it gives me a very good confluence because we had some liquidity being swept at this point here. So because someone could have marked this as a change of character to the upside, and that person will be taken out as liquidity at this point. But there was some more liquidity being taken around this area. So in case, for example, if we have a reaction from this area, this is the best area to take a trade from. The last order flow that the market formed before the upward move. So I'm currently waiting for this area, but we will try and wait to see what the market does, and we react with how the market reacts. So from the 4 hour time frame, this is the area I'm watching out for. If we have a pullback into this area, that is where I will be looking to take a trade from. But as always, as I tell you guys, if you don't have a very good setup, it is better to wait for a change of character. So the best area, let me try to use this order block that is below that fair value gap. So this is the order block, a valid order block from that point. So we already have a break of structure to the upside. So let's assume the market swept the internal structures from the lower time frame. That is why we can use this as our break of structure. So for example, the market comes into this level. I want to see a structure shift so that I can have my confirmation to the upside. So this is the best area for my entry. So that is where I am looking to take a trade from on a Euro USD. Stop loss below that area, but I need to have the confirmation before I take any trade entry. So the first take profit, as always, 1:3 risk to reward ratio, and the full take profit uh, where the market will be having a reversal. So that is my best point of interest. But you can use this bias generally to have your trades because I think it is very very important that I tell you that Euro USD we are going to try and look for buys. So generally, just know that Euro USD is going to try and buy even more. So that is my view on Euro USD. Let's wait. We have break of structures to the upside, and once this high has been cleared, we'll be looking to look for more buys and more buys to the upside. So that is it on my Euro USD. We have some fair value gaps being left behind. So let's wait to see what the price will be doing, and we will react with how the market reacts. So I also have gold. I also have gold. So on gold coming from the daily time frame, as always, you know that from our last analysis, I told you guys we'll be looking for buys to the upside, and that is exactly what we are going to do. So price left behind an order block down here that was not mitigated at this point. But currently, right now, I don't want us to focus at this area. But if we have the price coming back down, we'll be looking to have a reaction from that point. But currently, right now, I want us to focus at this point up here. So let me delete this, and also this one here. So let me also clear that. So currently right now price does not have had a break of structure to the upside at this point. We expect the price to do that, but what price did yesterday, I think, uh, price came and reacted from this order block. I guess if you marked this order block, you could have entered a trade from this point. A very good reaction to the upside. And currently, right now, I'm still looking for buying opportunities because of this kind of rejection. So the price came into this order block, filled this fair value gap, and I told you guys that price can come back down to fill in this fair value gap before tapping into this order block. So coming into the 4-hour time frame, you can see price came back down, tapped into that area, and then we had this rejection. So, and currently right now, I want to look for a bias that will support my entry to the upside, so that the price can go up to break structure from the daily time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, I don't see any order block. So I'll come into the 1-hour time frame to look for my point of interest. So the price came back down. Remember from the last video, I told you guys that price will be looking to come back and fill this fair value gap. And that is exactly what price came to do. So price came down, tapped into that fair value gap. We had this reaction, and I was looking to take a trade from this area, and I told you guys that this is the best area to take a trade from. So if you could have taken a trade from this point of interest, you can see if you are targeting 1:3 risk to reward ratio, you will probably get some good risk to reward ratio at this point. It is already like 1:5 risk to reward ratio. So let me delete that. So the price came reacted from this fair value gap, and then later on the market came down to tap into the daily order block, and then we have this reaction. So the high that I want to see price clearing is this high up here before I look for more buys, before I have a confirmation that price is willing to push to the upside. So from the 1-hour time frame, I don't have any point of interest at this point to support my buyers to the upside, because I think the price is pulling back to fill some fair value gaps. So coming into the 30 minutes time frame, I have a very good fair value gap down here. And I think if price comes into that area, we'll look to take a trade from there. So currently price is around this area, this order block, and we have the price reacting from that area, and then we have another fair value gap down here. So I'm looking to see if price will come down here to react to fill in this fair value gap completely, because we had the price coming down to tap into that fair value gap, but the price did not fill in this fair value gap completely, but the fair value gap has already been mitigated. Currently right now, let's focus on this area. Let's try to look for a trade from this area, and then we look to buy to the upside. So coming into the 15 minutes time frame, this is my second point of interest, the extreme point of interest. And once this high has been taken out, now I'll be confirming that price is reacting from that daily order block, because this high swept these inducements before going down to break structure. So I have a valid break of structure to the downside at this point. This is a valid break of structure to the downside. So it means once this high has been taken out, I'll have my change of character to the upside. And that means I'll be looking for more buys to the upside. So coming into the 5 minutes time frame, I want to see what is happening at this point. At this point, we can see that price is trying to react from this order block. So let's wait to see what price will be doing. Currently, right now, if someone is going to use this as a change of character at this point, you can see that in the 5 minutes time frame, the market is already having that signal that the market is changing character to the upside. But this is not my way of confirming that the market has already formed a change of character. So I'll not be taking this trade, but I want to use another confirmation, because this is not the right way for me to look for a change of character. So in this case, coming into the 15 minutes time frame, you can see there is a bullish candle, an engulfing candle at this point, and I think that is a very good reaction from this order block. So someone can take this trade from this area, but for me, I want to see, I want to see for I want to look for more confirmation, and if the market will not be reacting from this area, uh, but if the market will react from this area, I'll be looking for a continuation entry to the upside. So this is my setup on gold from this area, but I don't have a clear confirmation. I only have an engulfing candle as my confirmation at this point here. But that is not even enough for my entry. So that is the first setup, and then I'll be waiting for price to come into this area. If this order block cannot hold price and push the price to the upside, so that will be my second point of entry. So just use this as your bias to take a trade to the upside. Those are the zones that I'm looking out for price to react from. So that is my point of entry, my next point of entry on gold to the upside. But currently, we don't have a confirmation that price is going to clear this high. So let's wait patiently and we react with how the market reacts. So I have also GBP USD. I also have GBP USD, and I guess GBP USD is currently trying to react the same way as Euro USD is reacting. So both of those pairs are trying to react to the upside. So coming into the daily time frame, the price is trying to have a pullback to the upside. And from my previous videos, I was telling you guys that we are going to look for more buys to the upside because this is a pullback to the upside. So currently, right now, we have the daily break of structure to the downside after the price came up to sweep this liquidity here. The price swept to the inducement at this point, and then we had this move to the downside to break a structure to the downside. So you can clearly see the structure to the downside, and currently right now the price is having this pullback to the upside. So I want to see if I can have a zone to have my entry, my continuation entry to the upside. So where am I going to look for a continuation entry to the upside? So right now I want to see this order block here to see if the price will be having a reaction from that order block, so that I can use that as my confluence to try and look for a pullback that will make me have an entry to the upside. So currently, right now, we have this bullish candle to the upside, and the price has left behind a daily order block with a fair value gap. So this is a very good order block that when the price will come back, I'll be looking to have an entry from this point to the upside. So if price comes into this area and then we have a reaction to this low, we'll be looking for buying opportunities to the upside because price is trying to form a double bottom at this point. And as you all know, when the neckline has been broken, the price has to come back to retest that neckline before moving to the upside. So and already we have the neckline being broken, and then we have the pullback. We have this support and resistance being broken, and then the price came to test that to test the neckline before we have that reaction to the upside. So currently right now I want to see if the price will come back into this area before I have another entry to the upside. So coming into the 4 hour time frame, coming into the 4 hour time frame. So from the daily time frame, let me refine this my point of interest. So I have this 4 hour order block up here. So that is my next point of interest. I want to see what the price will be doing at this point. So that is my next point of interest. So currently right now we have very good buying momentum from these areas. This is the daily time frame order block. So let me refine it to the this 4 hour order block. So that is my point of interest. There is no any inducement present. So we will wait and see what the market will be doing, and we always react with how the market reacts. So the only thing that price is doing, the price is trying to leave behind some fair value gaps. So, and what price did at this point here, we had a very good sweep of these lows liquidities, because remember that when we have this pullback to this low, the price went up to sweep this highs liquidity, and then the price came back down to sweep the lows, these lows as inducement, as liquidity, before the price moves to the upside. So it means we have a strong low, but this strong low does not have any inducement to be used as liquidity. So currently now we have a break of structure, a valid break of structure to the upside, a clear one. So that is my break of structure after the price swept the liquidities, the inducements down here as a liquidity. That is why I mark that as a break of structure, a valid break of structure to the upside. So I want to see if price will be coming back down. And because I don't have an inducement to take as liquidity, I'll be waiting for a confirmation. But if we could have had an inducement being formed, we could we will be looking for a sniper entry based on, let's say, maybe the point of interest, because sometimes you find that if we don't have an inducement, it means that law has a high probability of of being used as an inducement. So currently, right now, if price will be having a pullback, we look to buy to the upside from this area, but with a confirmation. So if I drop into the 15 minutes time frame, let's try to look for an order block to have a continuation to the upside. So let me try to look for an order block from the 30 minutes time frame. This is the first order block that I have at this point. No inducement to be taken as liquidity. So we will wait if price forms an inducement at this point and then price moves up. This order block will be having a very high probability of being reacted, of reacting price from this area, of pushing price from this area to the upside. So we will wait to see what the market will be doing. So I want to see a good information before I take any trade. So I don't have a clear point where I will be having my entry, but try to use this analysis as your bias. Look for buys on GBP USD so that you can be on the safer side. So that is my points of interest on GBP USD. I don't have a clear point to have my entry, but try as much as possible to support the trend of the market. So that is it on GBP USD. Also have NAS 100. NAS 100 currently right now, let me go to the daily time frame. So from the daily time frame, price came to retest this support and resistance level. We have this support and resistance level at this point. So price came back to retest this support and resistance level. You can see there is this touch here. The price came back down, retested this support and resistance level. And then we have the price pushing the upside. Then the price came back down, retested this support and resistance level, and then we have now the buying momentum to the upside. And currently, right now, we are going to support this bullish movement to the upside. So I have this order block up here that was left behind. That is my first target. That is where I want to see a reaction from. So I'm going to look for buys to this point. So coming into the 4-hour time frame, we had this bearish movement to the downside, but you can see clearly that price has now turned into a bullish movement to the upside. So, and as you can see clearly from the 4-hour time frame, price is filling each and every fair value gap before moving to the upside. You can see when price leaves behind a fair value gap, the price finds an opportunity to come down and fill those fair value gaps that are being left behind before moving to the upside. And you can see even at this point here, we had this fair value gap. We had this fair value gap, and price came back to fill the fair value gap. You can see the price came back, filled in this fair value gap, and then we had the reaction to the upside. And then again, we had this fair value gap also at this point here. The price came back again down to this area, reacted from that fair value gap, and then we have the price moving to the upside. And also at this point, we had a fair value gap being formed. We had this fair value gap at this area. We had a fair value gap at that point, or even you can say we had this fair value gap, a very small fair value gap between this candle and this candle down here. And this was an order block around that area. So price came back down to tap into that order block and fill those fair value gaps before moving to the upside. So price is trying as much as possible to come down and fill each and every fair value gap before moving to the upside. So coming into the 1 hour time frame, I want to look for a fair value gap that is being left behind. You can see the candles, the price is trying to come back down each and every time to fill every fair value gap before moving to the other direction. So and currently right now, if you can see at this point here, the only fair value gap I can see at this point is this one here. So and this fair value gap is around this area, and we have an order block at that point also. So the price came back down, reacted from that fair value gap, but we still have some that fair value gap not completely filled. So I still expect price to come that into that area, and now I look to take a trade from this order block here. This is the order block with the fair value gap. So that is the best area I want to take a trade from, because and also the price has a liquidity just above it, an inducement just above it should be used as liquidity. So it is a very good bias for me to have a trade from that area. So that will be my entry from this point here. Stop loss just below this low here. So this is my where my stop loss will be, below this low here. The entry will be from this order block, and then the stop loss below that area, and then my profit, my full take profit will be up here. So I'll be waiting for price to come into this area, and then I have my entry to the upside. So that is my analysis on NAS 100. I want to see price coming back down. Let's say maybe in the New York session, price will come back down and then react from this area, and I will take my buys from this area to the upside. So that is it for this video, guys. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, comment down below what you need me to talk about. And then for those pairs that so many guys are suggesting for me to do an analysis, some pairs, for example, if you suggest a pair, some pairs I don't have a clear view on how they are, let's say maybe on how the market structure is being formed. So that is why I don't try to analyze them. But the good thing is that if you don't see a clear structure on a pair, you should just try to avoid it, or try to look for another pair to trade. So and I think that is very good if you try to stay away from a pair that you don't have a clear analysis on. So that is it for this video. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and even subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you cannot miss out on any analysis that I drop.